about going to the polls, and we're already seeing it in early voting. For McCain, just 1 in 4 of his voters say they're excited about doing this. That's the difference in showing up to the polls in a snowstorm and not showing up to the polls in a snowstorm. This is a big problem for him.
Chuck Todd with some of the other new numbers tonight, and I'll see you later tonight on an airplane, which brings us to our program note. Tomorrow night we'll be in Ohio, where we will air part 1 of our interview with Governor Sarah Palin, and of course the top of the GOP ticket, Senator John McCain. That's tomorrow night's broadcast from Ohio. An absolutely critical aspect of this election year is the battle for control of the U.S. Senate, where a third of the seats are up for grabs on election night. The new balance of power could determine this nation's path for a long time to come. Some veteran senators are in grave danger of losing their powerful positions. And as NBC's John Yang reports, they are all Republicans.
Other than a Wall Street banker, the most unpopular person in America right now just might be a Republican running for re-election. Ask Kentucky's Mitch McConnell, the party's leader in the Senate. His once easy race for a 5th term has gotten dramatically tighter ever since he helped push through the $700 billion financial rescue plan.
This financial crisis is going to be dealt with.
Or Elizabeth Dole in North Carolina, where polls show her trailing a 5-term state legislator. Then there's Minnesota's Norm Coleman. He had a double-digit lead over former Saturday Night Live comic Al Franken.
I felt the administration was running around like a chicken with his head cut off.
But now it's evaporated.
I feel weighted down as an incumbent by, an economic collapse that is unprecedented in my lifetime.
In state after state, it's the same story. Sitting Republican senators battling the stiff headwinds of the financial crisis, being outspent by opponents, and facing angry voters who want to shake things up.
They're dissatisfied with Washington politics, but fairly or unfairly, they're holding the Republicans responsible.
Right now, the Democratic caucus has 51 seats in the Senate, a slim majority. Analysts say at least 7 sitting Republicans are teetering and could lose on Election Day. In addition, the Democrats could take 3 other seats of retiring GOP senators. If everything goes the Democrats' way, they'd have the 60-seat supermajority they'd need for complete filibuster-proof control of the Senate, something no party's had since the late 1970s.
The Democrats will be in a position to change the entire direction of this country. Economic policy, tax policy, cultural policy, foreign policy. It's as simple as that.
A political earthquake that would shake the Capitol with far-reaching implications, no matter who wins the White House. John Yang, NBC News, Washington.
And now to the economy in this financial crisis. Treasury Secretary Hank Paulson made a surprise appearance on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange today. He was greeted with some cheers, but didn't take questions from anybody. That includes CNBC's Bob Pisani, who tracked him down. No Paulson rally on the street, however. At the end of the day, the Dow finished down almost 232 points. There's plenty of blame to go around for the financial crisis we're in right now, but high on the list of culprits, if you ask a lot of people, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the federal agency charged with protecting investors and making sure, among other things, that capital markets work. What went wrong here? Some answers from our senior investigative correspondent, Lisa Myers.
1933, the Securities and Exchange Commission was born out of the Depression, created as a law enforcement agency to be sure investors get accurate financial information and to punish companies that mislead or cheat the public. Now, in the wake of the latest market meltdown, the SEC is under heavy fire. Critics say the agency failed to adequately monitor or alert the public to increasingly risky debt practices by investment banks. A half dozen former top SEC officials on both sides of the political aisle tell NBC News that under Chairman Christopher Cox, appointed by President Bush, the SEC took a deliberate turn away from tough enforcement.
They've basically changed the culture from one of being a watchdog to one of being a lapdog.
Specifically, SEC insiders say the commission delayed and discouraged enforcement cases by putting up administrative hurdles and reduced penalties for wrongdoing from a total of $1.5 billion in 2005 to $507 million last year. Former SEC Chairman Arthur Levitt says the result was a permissive environment.
The commission went off course from its traditional role as the investor's protector.
In a report, the SEC's internal watchdog said there were numerous potential red flags, at investment bank Bear Stearns 2 years ago about risks that evolved into the subprime crisis. But the report says the SEC made no efforts to require the bank to reduce its debt or warn investors. Former officials argue that if the SEC had given warning, Americans may not have lost so much money, and the meltdown might not have been so severe.
Because of silence from the SEC, the investors never knew that they were investing in what became a ticking time bomb.
The agency says it lacks sufficient authority to properly regulate investment banks and that traditional models failed to adequately measure the health of those companies or predict what transpired. A spokesman denies there has been any drop-off in enforcement. Lisa Myers, NBC News, Washington.
When Nightly News continues this Tuesday night, it doesn't get any closer than tonight's reporting from the front lines in Afghanistan. Tonight, we'll have the story from our own Richard Engel with the men of Viper Company as they are hit by tragedy.
And now, the James Beard Foundation Rising Star Chef of the Year, Christopher Lee, on the art of cooking.
Use stock. And when I'm cooking at home, that means use Swanson stock. It keeps the meat juicy and brings out the natural flavors.
So if you want to cook like Chef Christopher Lee, cook with new Swanson stock.
Where on earth could we ever find enough oil and natural gas to power more than 60 million cars and heat 160 million households for 60 years? Right here in America. Log on to learn more.
Meet me, Meg. I've got osteoporosis, but I'm an on-the-go kind of woman. So when my doctor told me about Reclass, the once-a-year IV osteoporosis treatment that can help protect me while I'm on the go for an entire year, it had Meg written all over it. My doctor said once-a-year Reclass can help re-strengthen my bones, to help make them resistant to fracture for 12 months. The thing about Reclass is no other osteoporosis treatment is approved to help protect from fracture in more places, hip, spine, even other bones.
You should not take Reclass if you're on Zometa, have low blood calcium, kidney problems, or you're pregnant, plan to become pregnant, or nursing. Take calcium and vitamin D daily. Tell your doctor if you develop severe muscle, bone, or joint pain, or if you have dental problems, as rarely job problems have been reported. The most common side effects include flu-like symptoms, fever, muscle or joint pain, and headache.
Ask your doctor about Reclass, year-long protection for on-the-go women.
Where do Americans get 2/3 of the oil and natural gas we rely on? North America. Surprised? Learn more. Visit energytomorrow.org.
As you may know, we aired a gripping piece of reporting here last night from our chief foreign correspondent, Richard Engel, embedded with members of Viper Company, a U.S. Army outpost in Afghanistan's Korengal Valley. Many of you wrote to us in response, including one viewer who emailed us wanting to pay to adopt the members of this entire company. And as we're about to see in tonight's dispatch, and it is gripping viewing, by the way, the dangers of war in an unforgiving and unfamiliar place caught up with the men of Viper Company in the very worst way.
With just 150 men, 29-year-old Captain Jimmy Howell has a daunting mission: to drive the Taliban and al-Qaeda fighters out of the Korengal Valley, their main safe haven in Afghanistan. But first, Howell has to find them. He has a daring plan. Before dawn, his unit sets out for the village of Korengal, a Taliban stronghold. They travel in Humvees. They want to be seen. They're the bait. But Howell planned a surprise, too. The rest of the mission is up to the men from the hilltop outpost of Restrepo. Their job is to sneak into Korengal, find a safe house, and wait to attack. At an abandoned farmhouse overlooking Korengal's terraced fields, flanked by 2 mountains, Howell is ready. Within minutes, the plan starts to work. The Taliban open fire, exposing their positions on the mountain slopes.
2 enemy elements in a shot, firing from the southwest into Korengal break.
Howell quickly calls in mortars. and 2,000-pound bombs to destroy them. They're falling simultaneously on both mountains. But suddenly, it goes tragically wrong. A mortar hits the house where the soldiers from Restrepo are positioned. We can hear their screams, even from a few hundred yards away.
6 wounded, 1 KIA, over.
1 American is dead. He was Sergeant John Penich, 25, from Beach Park, Illinois. We met Penich at Restrepo the day before. Calm, mature, he had already been recommended for a Silver Star for valor. Sergeant Ches Carter, who only joined the platoon last week, and Private First Class Jeffrey Iwanski are among the injured. The wounded men released red smoke, so the medevac helicopter can find them.
Right now, we're requesting an air medevac. We're setting up at this time.
Howell and his team watch anxiously. But the Taliban see an opportunity.
And as the medevac helicopters continue to evacuate the dead and wounded, they themselves have now come under fire from at least 2 positions in the valley.
An Apache gunship moves in to protect it, firing into the hills. But Howell has a new problem. He's been out for 5 hours. His positions have been exposed, and he still has to get his men back to base. Howell expects an ambush. It comes quickly. Pinned down. Backs against a rock wall. He tried to stay behind the Humvee.
As we tried to cross an open stretch of road, we came under attack. There's incoming fire right now. We're using this Humvee for cover as we're trying to get to another base.
We were saved by the Apaches. Rocketing the hillsides. Until the Taliban stopped shooting. Then we see the survivors from Restrepo. Exhausted, haunted, blood still on their uniforms.
Boys are devastated about it. You know, I mean, it's one thing to have guys that are injured or killed, but it's another thing when it's something that could be prevented. I mean, this is obviously something that could be prevented.
The incident is now under military investigation. It's Viper Company's first suspected friendly fire since they came to Afghanistan in July. But the soldiers can't lose focus because their patrols and their enemy will be out again tomorrow. Richard Engel, NBC News, Korengal.
And we're back with more right after this.
The way the stock market's been acting lately, you may wonder if you've been doing the right thing. Is the advice you've been getting helping or hurting? Are the fees you're paying really worth it? TD Ameritrade's fees are fair and straightforward. Their research is independent and unbiased. Their investment consultants are knowledgeable and there when you need them. So why not talk to one?
Call today to schedule a free investment checkup or visit a TD Ameritrade branch.
For the price of a night in, how about a night out? Introducing Applebee's 2 for $20 menu. 1 great appetizer to share, 2 amazing entrees, and lots of choice. Applebee's 2 for $20, the best deal in the neighborhood.
Do you insist on Mom? Mom?
When your sinuses are blocked with pressure and congestion, everything seems harder to rush. Everything seems harder when your sinuses are blocked. Nothing works faster on nasal congestion than the medicine in new Sudafed OM nasal spray. Sudafed OM, unblock your head.
Constipation, bloating, gas, diarrhea. People, is your colon sending you a message? Now there's new Philips Colon Health with probiotics. It helps naturally restore the balance in your digestive system, so you can avoid those very unpleasant symptoms with new Philips Colon Health.
I have high blood pressure, and I was surprised to learn that it may have led to my erectile dysfunction. That's when my doctor told me about Levitra.
Certain medical conditions, including high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol, can decrease blood flow, which may lead to ED.
That was news to me. And my doctor told me Levitra could help.
Levitra works by increasing blood flow to help treat ED.
Levitra works for me. Maybe it can work for you.
Ask your doctor if you are healthy enough for sexual activity. If you have heart problems, are on alpha blocker therapy, or have uncontrolled high blood pressure, talk to your doctor before taking Levitra. Do not take Levitra if you take nitrates for chest pains, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, and stuffy or runny nose. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience an erection lasting longer than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss of vision or hearing, stop taking Levitra and call your doctor right away. Ask your doctor if Levitra is right for you.
Where's Kaylee? Missing for months. Her mom indicted for murder. Now her grandparents speak out live. But today exclusive. Tomorrow on NBC.
A new report in the Journal of the American Medical Association says our nation's emergency rooms are not, as many believe, overwhelmed because the number of patients in them without insurance, but because there are fewer beds and simply fewer ERs to go around these days. In fact, it says the uninsured use the ERs less than other patients, but when they do come in, they tend to be sicker. There's important news tonight for parents of infants. If you have an older drop-side crib, the federal government is urging you to inspect the hardware to make sure it's securely attached. This is because 2 8-month-old babies suffocated after getting stuck when the sides detached. Those incidents both involve Delta brand Enterprise cribs. More than 1.5 million cribs by that company have been recalled. We put a complete list of the models involved on our website, nightly.msnbc.com. Remarkable pictures tonight of what you might call the ultimate stomping ground. Geologists studying sandstone deposits in a remote part of southern Utah have stumbled on the fossilized remains of what they call a veritable dinosaur dance floor, more than 1,000 footprints, and actual tail drag marks left by a number of dinosaurs during the early Jurassic period 190 million years ago. The site is thought to have been a watering hole originally. Scientists say the find will help them understand how dinosaurs were able to live in harsh desert conditions. We're back in a moment here with a mystery involving Alzheimer's and who's getting it.
What are you doing? Fixing the name. It's fiber none. Looks like one. But I know, put an N there.
Ah, Fiber One Honey Cluster cereal. That's really good.
It tastes good, so there can't be fiber in it.
It's actually got about half a day's worth of fiber.
It says so right in the box. Really? Try it.
Honey, touch of brown sugar, crunchy clusters.
Any cardboard?
Cardboard now. Delicious? Yes.
We should give away free samples.
Get your free samples at fiberone.com.
Do you own an oil company? Well, if you have mutual funds or a pension or other investments, chances are you do. Learn more. Visit energytomorrow.org.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Senator Obama, I am not President Bush.
True, but you did vote with Bush 90% of the time. Tax breaks for big corporations and the wealthy, but almost nothing for the middle class. Same as Bush. Keep spending $10 billion a month in Iraq while our own economy struggles. Same as Bush. You may not be George Bush, but
I voted with the president over 90% of the time, higher than a lot of my even Republican colleagues.
All around the world, men with erectile dysfunction have taken 36-hour Cialis. Today, men can also be ready with another dosing option, Cialis for daily use, a clinically proven low-dose tablet you take every day, so you can be ready anytime the moment is right.
Tell your doctor about your medical condition and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
36-hour Cialis or Cialis for daily use. Ask your doctor if a Cialis option is right for you. So when the moment is right, you can be ready.
Where on earth could we ever find enough oil and natural gas to power more than 60 million cars and heat 160 million households for 60 years? Right here in America. Log on to learn more.
This is a KTW News Channel 8 update.
Next, a Bend couple attacked on a South American beach. Hear from his family about his fight for survival in an L.A. hospital. Plus, how man's best friend is giving troubled teens a second chance. I'm Matt Safino. We've got plenty of sunshine on the way, but colder temperatures. Find out if you'll face frost in the morning at 6.
We'll end here tonight on health and science and the insidious nature of Alzheimer's disease made worse by a mystery in medicine right now. Why some Americans, minority groups, seem to suffer from it at a much higher rate these days. Our report here tonight from our chief science correspondent, Robert Bazell.
There you go, Mother.
For 8 years, Joan Rodriguez put her life on hold to care for her mother, Alicia, who immigrated from Mexico and recently died of Alzheimer's.
I remember her joy for dancing, her joy for living. She used to love her Spanish music. Look at you dancing.
Alzheimer's is a major medical mystery, and many experts are now concerned about an increase in Alzheimer's among Latinos and other minorities.
Alzheimer's disease is definitely a special problem in the Hispanic community, but overall, it is an epidemic in the United States and actually all over the world.
One of the biggest studies in the differences of rates of Alzheimer's disease comes from here, the very ethnically diverse Washington Heights neighborhood of New York City. It found that Hispanics and African Americans had twice the rates as whites.
How much vascular disease contributes?
Dr. Richard Mayu of Columbia University Medical Center, who headed the study, says the big mystery is whether it is genetics or factors related to poverty, such as diabetes and obesity, which contribute to Alzheimer's risk.
My best scientific evidence is that it's a genetic risk, and that we're seeing different genes causing increased risk in these different populations.
Experts know that more educated people tend to be diagnosed less often.
More tea?
Joan Rodriguez says her mother's case was especially sad because she had always wanted to study more.
Because she was very bright. And in Mexico, where she was born, she actually skipped 2 grades.
A dream, like so many, stolen by this terrible affliction.
Want to see the kids?
Robert Bazell, NBC News, New York.
And that's our broadcast for this Tuesday evening. Thank you with us. I'm Brian Williams. Another reminder, we'll see you from Ohio tomorrow night with part 1 of our interview with Governor Sarah Palin and the top of the ticket, Senator John McCain. Good night.
Paradise Lost. A Bend couple's dream vacation to Ecuador turned violent.
Stabbed him 18 times.
The man's father shares the horrifying story and the prognosis for his son. A scary close call. A Gresham mother noticed a bloody gash on her toddler's face. Even more alarming, the cause. A bullet fired into his bedroom.
They could have killed our baby.
The search for the shooter and the reward and pet project. It's working in Oregon prisons, pairing inmates with dogs.
It made a big difference in my life.
Meet the woman who started it all.
From the KGW HD studios, where the news comes first. News Channel 8 starts now.
Hello, I'm Laurel Porter, in tonight for Tracy.
And I'm Joe Donlin. First at 6, grazed by a bullet. A toddler escaped serious injury after someone fired a stray shot into his bedroom. Tonight, his parents are outraged and offering a reward to find the gunman. News Channel 8's Amanda Burden is live in the Gresham neighborhood where it happened, and she's here now. What a close call, Amanda.
Oh, Joe, that little guy is lucky to be alive tonight. I mean, imagine it. The toddler is sleeping in his bedroom, in his crib, when all of a sudden a bullet flies through his window. His parents say it's a miracle he's okay.
Look at the dinosaur book.
Like most 2.5-year-olds, Weston Paskowitz loves talking dinosaurs.
We are dependent.
Dependent on you, the lifeblood.
The lifeblood.
The lifeblood
of our company.
We will treat you like our business depends on it.
Because it does.
Because it does.
Because it does.
Cassidy's Restaurant since 1979, serving dinner and catering special events from its original location on Southwest Washington Street in downtown Portland.